got quarterback of the Utah Utes, Donovan, Houston Astros prospect, Adrian Howard. We used to be so strong, and now
Dana White was like, I have Tyrone's bum in the back trying to make me sign him right now.
Is there a reason for us to make this game?
Hello everybody, my name is Justin Godsey for Justin Godsey TV. Thank you so much for checking out tonight's video. Now, if you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Please leave your comments down below on what you think about tonight's video. Leave all your guys' thoughts. You guys can also check out my Facebook page, my YouTube account. Like I said, just subscribe to my YouTube account. Also, Twitter and Instagram. All those links are down below in the description. Links to my website will be right here. You guys can check out a whole lot of good content, whether it's baseball, football. I got a lot of articles coming your guys' way. It's going to be 24/7, updates on my site. Yeah, it's not, as popular right now, but hopefully with your guys' support of my, YouTube channel, and it just goes over to my website, I would love to have you guys, commenting on my articles and everything like that. So let's talk about today's MLB trade of the day. The MLB trade deadline is coming up pretty quick. I think the deadline's next week or the week after, and it's a very exciting time for baseball. Everybody's all pumped up for the trade deadline. It's the thing we're all looking forward to after the All-Star break. We've seen a number of trades go down. The Diamondbacks has been that premier team to be trading because they're currently in last place in the National League West. They're trying to revamp their roster, try to make a big playoff push next year, try to get their teams to a big plus. Now, as you guys see by the teams, these two jerseys right behind me, we're here talking about a trade that went down this afternoon between the San Diego Padres and the New York Yankees. Now, involved in this deal will be Yangveris Solarte. If I'm saying the name wrong, I am not good at all at names a whole lot. If I get it right on, spot on with Yangveris Solarte, I'm proud for myself. But, like I said, no one is 100% great at names, and we both try here to say, the best of our ability. Solarte has been traded to the San Diego Padres. Yes. Finally, Chase Headley, he's been traded to the New York Yankees in exchange for Solarte. It's finally been done. The Chase Headley sweepstakes is officially over with. But what is the cost for the future? Now, both players have been, have had, that big, build up at some time in their career. Solarte has had this, season this year where, the Yankees are going to be counting on him for their future. Yes, he's 27 years old, but people fail to realize that he was in the MLB back in 2005. That's a number of years ago, almost going on, 9 years ago. Solarte signed when he was, I think 16 or 17 years old, whatever the case may be. He was signed as an overseas, Venezuelan player. He signed with the Minnesota Twins back in 2005. He did not last for the team very long. He ended up going to the Texas Rangers, and then ultimately, after being with Texas for a number of years, and then this, recent, back in 2013, last year, he signed with the New York Yankees. He became a free agent. The Yankees think they saw something in him to be the future of the squad. Alex Rodriguez is currently out with his suspension due to the whole steroid allegations and, everything going on. So the MLB has suspended him for the season. And then the New York Yankees had a lot of questions going over at third. They had that experience with Kevin Youkilis. Kevin Youkilis is now playing overseas in Japan or China. And, they're still trying to add pieces to this roster to have them compete. They're trying to get a big playoff berth so that they can, compete for a World Series championship this year. Boston, the defending champions are likely not going to be going with the way they're playing. A lot of, big question marks for that team going forward. They have great prospects. But nothing's really connecting them. So, it's pretty much the Yankees and the Blue Jays up there at number 1 and 2. They're battling. And, also the Orioles. So, it's a very, packed American League West. So, the San Diego Padres also are another team that is currently out of the playoff picture. And they're rebuilding. Kind of like how the New York Yankees is. They're trying to get younger. The Yankees went out there, got Jacoby Ellsbury. But they're slammed with contracts with Carlos Beltran. They're also slammed with the contract of Ichiro. They lost out on Cano. So, this team's trying to add some pop to their lineup. But you know what? With the addition of Chase Headley, but before we get into that, I want to stick with the Padres and, what's their, current backstory. But the Padres, like I said, they've also been trading some pieces away. They got a big amount of prospects headed their way. They recently just traded away their closer, Houston Street, who has just been lights out this year. He's on my fantasy roster. He has never failed to, get me 5 points a game in his save opportunities. He's overall one of the best closers in the game right now. The LA Angels are a big-time competitor. They're still having some questions with their closer role. Houston Street's going to be going over there. Joe Smith was their setup man now. Jason Grilli. So this team is really trying to revamp their bullpen. Have it closed out. They had Ernesto Frieri. They traded him for Jason Grilli. So the Angels are doing a great job. So that left the Padres in that rebuilding phase. And I was always looking at the Padres to be a team going down the line and making some big pushes. This is going to be a team of the future. Yes, they don't have that current roster right now. They're in Petco Park. And what's going to be going on with the San Diego Padres from here on out? How long will this rebuilding phase take? Solarte is a great option for your rebuilding phase, but is he going to end up living up to the circumstances of being an everyday third baseman? Chase Headley was a great option, but Chase Headley over the past couple of seasons, including this year and last year, he just has not lived up to the par. The New York Yankees back in 2012 were just trying to, they're clinging and clutching, trying to find anything that would acquire Chase Headley to come over to the New York Yankees, but nothing was going forth for the San Diego Padres. They said that he's untradeable right now. We're going to keep Chase Headley. He's not going to go anywhere. He's our franchise player. I think that's right during the they got Cameron Maybin. This team has great players in the outfield. Chris Denorfia, Cameron Maybin, Yonder Alonso, Yasmani Grandal. This team is very, very talented. But the biggest key issue was the development, the overall stature of Chase Headley. Is he going to be going out there and competing at a high level? I can guarantee you with the current average he's hitting this year has not lived up to the par. And when you look at last year, he's batting even worse. He batted 229 last year, he's batting 229 this year. I apologize, and he batted 250 at the end of the year last year. So he really needs to improve a whole lot. He's coming over to the New York Yankees, which has that that very small portion, I think, in right field or left field, and he could probably have his home run totals go up a little bit more. It was just a couple of years ago where this guy went out in the season. He went out there and crushed, 50? No, that's 50 RBIs. He had 13 home runs last year. I apologize. 13 home runs last year, and then 2012, he had 31 bombs. So, he has taken a big step back over the past couple of years. And, Chase Headley heading over to the Yankees, I guarantee he's going to have that everyday third baseman role. As for Kelly Johnson, I can see a legitimate playing either, second base, probably end up full-time. I don't see as a full-time because Brian Roberts is there. He could probably end up being, a bench piece for other team going forward, but the San Diego Padres, with Solarte being placed into the lineup, it's a good option. Do I think he's going to make that immediate impact? Kind of like, can I see him making that big impact for the Padres this year? I don't think so. This team has already have a great team overall. They're just waiting for guys like Jed Jerko, Everett Cabrera, Erlin. Their pitching needs to be a whole recalled up. They got to get their guys healthy. Andrew Cashner's on the DL, so a handful of their roster. When it's healthy, this Padres team is very, very dangerous. Like I said, you got Carlos Quentin, Cameron Maybin, Seth Smith. You also, like I said, Yonder Alonso, Everett Cabrera, Armista over at third. He's playing. He can play both positions. Nelson is there. This team is going into a rebuilding phase, and But you know what? How long will this rebuilding phase last? It's still going to be thrown up in the air. I still think the San Diego Padres could be a team that can make the playoffs in the next 2 to 3 seasons. You know, when you currently look at the NL West, you know, the Padres in a couple of years could be battling for that NL West. You know, I think the Diamondbacks are, you know, they still got to figure out, you know, what's the future of the squad. You know, they have great pieces. The majority of it are looking towards Patrick Corbin for the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're doing their work. The Colorado Rockies are looking at changes of moving on from Troy Tulowitzki, their primetime player right there. And then you also got to look at, you know, the San Francisco Giants. How many more years can they be consistent? Or do you think there could end up, you know, trading some pieces away and building for their future? You know, they don't have, you know, America's #1 farm system, but they do have great pieces, the majority of it being pitchers. So they got to start developing some more hitters. You know, they got Panic down there. So, you know, this team is going into a good direction, but the Padres overall have the power, they have the average hitters, and you know what? It's going to be a team you guys want to watch for in the coming years. Solarte is going to be heading over to the San Diego Padres. Chase Headley is finally going over to the Bronx, joining the New York Yankees. I'm Justin Godsey for the Justin Godsey TV. Leave me your thoughts down below in the comment section below. Also, check out my website. It's going to be right here in the annotation, so make sure you go and check that out. I'm Justin Godsey, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.